I sent out probably upwards of like 20 applications to places all over my little town to try to get a job for a summer. And Jamba Juice was the only place that would hire me. And even when I got that job, my boss had asked me, I told him that I didn't have a driver's license. And he said, oh, am I gonna have to come pick you up and drop you off? Which was a little bit embarrassing. But I was just so happy to get the job, so happy to be making $7.50 an hour that I took it right on the spot.
So my first job was as a barista at the Coffee Cat in Santa Barbara, California.
My first job was when I was 18 and I was cleaning bathrooms in Boston.
My first job was as an assistant TV host for a show called Testigos Hoy, or Witnesses Today, which aired on regional TV in the south of Spain.
My first job was working as an assistant in a photography studio.
I worked at the Parks and Rec in Lawrence, Massachusetts, where I'm from.
I worked at the Oakland Coliseum for Juma Ventures. I was a vendor there. I sold iced teas, Haagen-Dazs, corn dogs, you name it.
I was 16 years old. I was living in the DC area, and I went to work as a house painter. And the painting company was actually owned by a local fraternity. So I was working with 22-year-old frat boys as my bosses.
My first job was working as a busser at a sushi restaurant.
My first job was a flower delivery person for Tri-City Florists in San Diego.
I was around 15, 16 years old, and I started working for my dad's accounting firm.
My first job was as a grocery sacker at a local grocery store in Amarillo, Texas.
My first job was working at a sandwich shop in food prep.
15 and a half years old, was age eligible for a work permit, and I applied for a pizza counter position at Mamma Mia's Take and Bake in my hometown of Porterville, California.
So my first job was on campus at Berkeley. I edited websites for the campus IT department.
I was cutting deli meats and cooking rotisserie chickens, and every night I would come home smelling like the fat from chickens.
So my first job was actually working as a vendor with Juma at the ballpark when I was 15.
My first job was a waitress at a local restaurant in St. Paul, Minnesota, where I'm from. I was 15 years old when I got the job. I think technically I should have been 16, but I believe they hired me at 15.
So my first job was at my Auntie Lillian's travel agency. I was in high school, I think I was like 16, and I just spent a lot of the time filing, organizing, kind of helping as needed.
My first job was actually at Jamba Juice, which is very suited to my personality because all the Jamba Juice kids were very perky. And where I grew up, it was sort of like in the suburbs, it was like you either worked at Jamba Juice or you worked at Starbucks. The cool people worked at Starbucks, but I was just very perky, so I worked at Jamba Juice.